All right, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to be reacting to the all-new Porsche GT3, the 992. I'm going to react to Carfection's video of their first drive. I believe it's their first drive, or it's the track review. So here we go, first time doing this. Sounds so good. Listen to that.
Here it is then, the new 911 GT3. And
alright, so awesome intro in this video. They obviously have amazing camera equipment, professional drivers. These guys know what they're doing at Carfection, and the intro is amazing in this video. You see the car ripping around the track, you hear the engine roaring, and it just really gets the hairs standing on the back of my neck, man. Whew. Wow, what a sound. What a sound.
Does it look aggressive? The big swan neck rear wing, those vents in the nose. More than any GT3 before, this puts function before form. Get down on your hands and knees as though you're worshipping at a flat six altar, and you can even see the myriad aerodynamic addenda under the car. Impressive, slightly intimidating. The 4-litre engine now has individual throttle bodies, but it only has 10 brake horsepower and 7 pounds-foot more than the GT3 it replaces. It's a physically bigger car, but with lightweight glass, a lightweight battery, lightweight fascia, lightweight exhaust, less sound deadening and a carbon fibre front bonnet, amongst other things. They've managed to keep the weight gain down to just 5 kilos. As a result, the 0 to 62 mile an hour is achieved in an identical 3.4 seconds.
That's
the
enough.
Top speed remains unchanged at 188 miles an hour for this PDK car. But its lap times, they're quicker. A lot quicker. 17 seconds quicker around the Nordschleife. Some of that is down to the aero, which gives 231 kilos in its standard setting and up to 385 kilos in its more aggressive setting. That latter figure is 150% more than the old car. Then there is what's going on in the arches, because for the first time in Porsche's history, this is a 911 road car with double wishbones at the front instead of McPherson struts.
All right, I got to stop it here. We're going to back up a little bit, actually, because what I love about this, here it is. Look how perfect that is. The offset. What I love about 911s from the factory, especially the GT3 models, the GT3 RS, the 2RS, hell, even the regular models. I mean, you don't need wheel spacers. You don't need new wheels. The offset is just about perfect. It's flawless from the factory. I'd say better than any car, just about any car out there. The ride height, I mean, it's just spot on.
Because for the first time in Porsche's history, this is a 911 road car with double wishbones at the front instead of McPherson struts.
My Honda Civic I had in the 90s had double wishbone.
992 means business. Sunny day, Bedford Autodrome.
He's happy to be driving.
GT3. Life doesn't get much better, does it?
Yeah.
Initial impressions as soon as getting into this. Steering feels quite light actually, but incredibly responsive. This new front end, you feel it straight away. The options on this car, we've got a few big ticket items, so at standard this costs about £128,000. This car costs about £150,000 as it is, so you've got about £2,500 for the shark blue paint, which does look very cool.
Beautiful colour.
About £2,500 for the carbon fibre roof, £6,500 for the PCCB, the carbon ceramic brakes,
The Club Sport pack is a no-cost.
I don't know that I would get the carbon ceramics. I mean, from what I hear, a lot of guys that track these cars end up swapping the carbon ceramics out for steel brakes, and the standard brakes are amazing on these cars. I mean, you can't go wrong either way, obviously. I mean, it's a Porsche.
We've got the full carbon bucket seats in here as well. LED headlights. So it's properly tricked out, but even so, 150 suddenly feels like pretty good value, to be honest.
For supercar performance.
About this car that is, well, pretty familiar really. Particularly that engine. 503 brake horsepower at 8,400 RPM. 347 pounds-foot of torque at 6,100 RPM.
Arguably the best six-cylinder motor ever. I mean, what sounds like that? What sounds like that? What makes power like that? Over 500 horsepower, 4 liters. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is amazing. This car is a great example of why you should stay naturally aspirated. It just sounds so good. You can't replace that sound.
And a noise that just makes you smile. It revs to 9,000 RPM, and it actually takes some effort. A really sort of concerted. You have to steel yourself really to go chasing those last sort of 500 RPM. The 7-speed PDK is obviously familiar from the 991 as well. The shifts, so smooth. This and that, it's just nothing. No interruption at all.
So smooth are the changes that you can confidently request a full-bore upshift with the car really loaded up in a long corner, and you know that it won't be unsettled.
To be honest, on track I've really only been using the paddles, but I do like the fact they've managed to get this back because it's the 7-speed PDK.
All right, this was a big deal here for me anyway. If you notice the shifter, it's a little touch, but the shifter, they went back. I've got to find it here. Let's see. The shift lever. Anyway, the shift lever, if you look at the base model 992, it's this tiny little thing. It doesn't look like it belongs in a sports car, if you ask me, for the PDK. But now in the GT3, it looks like a stick shift. Much better, in my opinion. Much better touch. There it is.
Never quite the same in a right-hand drive car because you have to push the lever away from you, but it's still nice. So the big difference with this, engine, gearbox, familiar, but the big difference is that front suspension. It just seems to make the car so planted, it's got so much grip. You can feel the pliance in it, the way it can lean into that front suspension more than ever. And at the point where you think the 911 is going to run out of grip, you just lean into a bit more. There's more bite there. It is another level of tenacity, really. And not just from the front. Because we've obviously got more grip at the front, they've been able to increase the grip at the rear as well. Here.
I'm sure the handling was a weakness in the last model.
The old GT3 would not have done that.
Despite the incredible speed that it generates, it's not a frantic car. You really do feel in control. It's so unflappable.
Beautiful shots here.
You can be really
Beautiful shots. This track is amazing
You
wherever
can
they
also
are.
position the seat really low in the 992, which gives you a
Man, what a job.
hunkered down, secure feeling behind the wheel.
You think this guy hates Mondays?
I've never been the last of the late breakers, but with this, it gives you so much confidence.
Love this shot here. Beautiful shot.
Really, just lean all the way
You
to
could
that
just
ABS.
feel the engine. You can feel it as it goes
There's
by.
no panic, you still got options. You can't get over how smooth those PDK shifts are. how smooth the whole car is. I mean, certainly in track it's much firmer, but even so, just all the inputs, the car feels so settled really. It's so grippy. Almost tempted to drop back to the normal setting on the Pazin. But I actually love that sense of connection there.
It's so focused and capable that you can see why the super sticky Cup 2R is offered as a tyre option.
Right, let's turn some systems off.
Traction control off. Uh-oh.
Even without doing any sort of big slides, you do just feel the car sort of free up a little bit when you loosen the ESC and TC.
Driving over the limit is, well, it's fun. And for all the G-forces and lap times, this car should be fun. Also, for me, the Porsche GT car's drivability over the limit has always been one of the hallmarks of its integrity of engineering and development. The sensation that when the tyres are slipping, they still seem to be gripping and giving you control. It's a remarkable feeling. And
like it's on rails.
It's
amazing how far cars have
greater
come.
than ever, so you have to be even more aggressive with the throttle in slides. It still retains that essential familiar quality.
You actually have to get quite big angles with it. You really have to break that traction because it just wants to keep driving forwards. It really hunts for grip. Listen to that engine.
Yeah, that's it. The top part of the RPM range.
You wouldn't get bored of that, would you?
Listen to that all day. Music to my ears.
That was a fascinating couple of hours on track. I still feel like there's so much more really to learn about this car. I did go out on the road.
All right, so comment below. What do you guys think of the 911 GT3? Would you like it? Is it your dream car? What color would you get it in? Would you get the manual option or the PDK? And check out Carfection. It's an amazing channel. These guys cover all the latest and greatest sports cars and supercars that are coming out. Their videos are always, I think, just about the right length. They don't go overboard. They have a lot of 10, 15-minute reviews. You know, some of these other channels will get into these 30, 40, 50-minute reviews, which I think is too long. But yeah, this is definitely one of my dream cars. I love this car. I love the way it sounds. I'm a big fan of the older version as well. So, yeah, comment below, guys. What do you want to see me review? What do you want me to review? Let me know in the comments below. See you soon.